So welcome to the TMC Newsroom. I'm Carl Ford. We're in San Jose, and I'm talking to Nick Ilyadis, who is the VP and CTO of Infrastructure Networking Group at Broadcom. Boy, that was a mouthful.
It is.
You know, with the Greek name, you would expect the name was the hard part, but the title itself is longer. Congratulations,
Thank
Nick.
you, Carl.
So, Nick, let's
glad to be here.
Let's talk about fiber channel on Ethernet,
Yes.
over Ethernet. Now, this is really something that can kind of change the game for those who are in the IT organization. Talk about how we change the infrastructure as a result of Broadcom enabling people to start connecting up that way.
Okay, so fiber channel is a storage protocol that exists in these fiber channel networks, and converged Ethernet is the ability to transport multiple protocols over Ethernet, and recently fiber channel has become one of those protocols. So what Broadcom, along with a lot of other industry companies, have developed is this fiber channel over Ethernet protocol. And this requires what's called a converged Ethernet infrastructure that provides lossless capabilities to Ethernet because fiber channel is a lossless protocol. And Broadcom has developed both controllers and switches. These are silicon chips that provide support for this new converged Ethernet. It's called data center bridging.
Okay.
It came out of the IEEE just recently, and we have just announced products. These are microchips, controllers that go into NIC cards, and switch chips that go into switches built by various manufacturers in the industry that support this new protocol. So now an IT organization can run a single converged fabric, an Ethernet fabric, that supports not only their LAN protocols, but now can support storage protocols such as fiber channel over Ethernet, as well as things like iSCSI and NAS, network attached storage.
Okay.
So now a single Ethernet fabric, so you have a single NIC card inside the server,
right,
with an Ethernet port, in this case 10 gigabit Ethernet port, that goes to a single switch infrastructure, 10 gigabit enabled, and then that switch infrastructure at some point can transition over to a fiber channel infrastructure. Let's say like legacy, SAN, backend storage, directors, those can stay fiber channel, but all the, let's say the new technology, the servers and the switches can be transitioned to this new converged Ethernet, and now can be running fiber channel over Ethernet. And Broadcom has just announced last week, actually, at Cisco Live, our new 57712 based products that both Cisco and Dell are now shipping these CNAs, these converged network adapters on.
Okay.
And the Broadcom product actually is 80% faster than our nearest competitor. So we are providing up to 1.7 million IOPS, those are I/O operations per second, on these dual 10 gigabit ports. And so now you have 20 gigabits of connectivity that can go to a switching infrastructure that's 10 gigabit enabled. And Broadcom also develops these 10 gigabit switch chips. We have the 56840, which is a 64 port 10 gigabit chip that supports this converged Ethernet, lossless Ethernet. So when you couple our controller with our switch chip, and through these different manufacturers, whether it be Cisco, Dell, HP, and others, you can now get very high throughput, single fabric Ethernet, very cost effective because now you only have to deploy a single one, and very high performance. So
kind of changes the game for those people who are in the data center right now in how they manage the SANs, right? In
Correct.
Theory.
So now you're managing a single
interface,
single fabric, single interface. I compare this to what happened with voice over IP in the enterprise.
Okay.
Remember we used to have TDM-based phones on your desk, and you had a PC, and it's like they were running on separate networks. And then somebody said, well, why don't we run voice over IP over that LAN? And now the phone became just another endpoint on the LAN.
So same kind of.
We're seeing the same kind of transition happening in the data center where we're converging on Ethernet, running multiple protocols over it, and getting rid of some of the other networks that we're running in parallel with.
Yeah, that's a good statement, because earlier you had talked about this as being kind of a gateway orientation, and you said eventually they'll probably change out the legacy as well on the SANs, but you don't have to do that immediately.
You don't have to do it immediately. You'll just refresh the things that are probably more frequent refresh cycles, the servers and the network connections.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to seeing you deployed. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, Carl.
Thanks, Nick.